Okay, so the second method of solving a quadratic equation is using the square rule, and we can use this if the formula is in a certain form. And what we're doing is we're using that if a squared equals b, then a equals plus or minus square root of b. This is called the square rule. Some books call it the square root rule. It doesn't really matter. You start with a square and you end up with a square root. We're not taking the square root of both sides of the equation. That's something that's often taught wrong. So I apologize for that. You're not doing the square root of both sides. Technically, you could take the square root of both sides, but then you end up having to deal with absolute values. And nobody ever shows that. So what they're showing you is just wrong, period. Okay? So the rule is you just go directly from a squared equals b to a equals plus or minus square root of b, period. Okay? Just applying that rule. And this is to solve for x, and x is probably an a somewhere. So solve, for example, solve 5 times the quantity x minus 3 squared equals 10. So first I would isolate the square by cross-multiplying the 5. You get 10 over 5, which is 2. So x minus 3, the quantity squared, equals 2. Then you apply the square rule, and you get x minus 3 equals plus or minus square root of 2. Then you add 3 to both sides, and you get x equals 3 plus or minus square root of 2. And in Hawks, they like you to write these separately. X equals 3 plus square root of 2 in one blank, and x equals 3 minus square root of 2 in the other. So example 2. Solve 3 times the quantity x minus 1 squared plus 4 equals 1. So first isolate the term that contains the square by subtracting the 4 from both sides. And you just get 3 times the quantity x minus 1 squared equals negative 3. Cross multiply the 3, the coefficient of the x minus 1 squared. And you get x minus 1, the quantity squared minus 1 equals minus 1. Sorry. So let's say that again. X minus 1, the quantity squared, equals negative 1. Then you apply the square rule. You get x minus 1 equals plus or minus square root of negative 1. Remember, square root of negative 1 is I. So you get x equals 1 plus or minus I, which of course you'll write in as x equals 1 plus I in one blank, and x equals 1 minus I in the other blank. Pretty simple.